Hello everyone, this is Ms. Garcia. I know that you all have started on alcohol awareness and of the importance of understanding the role alcohol can play in your lives. I wanted to create this video segment on some of the specifics about alcohol and how it could look, feel, and sound like. Please pay close attention to the terms and key concepts as you will be quizzed at the end of the video and asked to turn in the quiz for a door prize on Thursday when I give the lesson. So please stay with me and let's get started. Okay, let's start with alcohol, the facts. Alcohol. Okay, what is alcohol? Well, when we talk about alcohol, most of us are referring to the alcohol we find in alcoholic beverages. Just like almost every word, alcohol also has a scientific term called ethanol. In the image presented here, we see the chemical compound of alcohol, or ethanol. I included this image because I wanted to show you that things may be deceiving or may not appear to be what they are. Hence the question, alcohol looks harmless when drawn like this, right? Well, in reality, alcohol can have endless amounts of effects on your lives and can account for serious consequences. First and foremost, let's talk about some of the legal facts. I'm sure some of you might have already guessed the significance of the 21 years of age shown here in the slide. 21 is the minimum legal drinking age for those of you who guessed correctly. It is illegal for people under the age of 21 to consume, purchase, or possess alcohol in any form. Which leads me to talk about the zero tolerance law. Let me underline that because it's very important. The zero tolerance law makes it a criminal offense for anyone under the age of 21 to drive with even a small amount of alcohol in their system. And not just in operating a motor vehicle. This applies to anyone under the age of 21 caught in possession, consumption, etc. of alcohol in any form. So when thinking about alcohol, please be mindful of some of these serious consequences that you could be facing if not done correctly. Okay, so how does alcohol travel through your body? When a person drinks alcohol, it is absorbed into the bloodstream. This is an image showing you the roadmap of how alcohol travels in your body. While it may seem like a lot, the key components I want you to focus on here is this area and this area. Let's begin with the small intestine. Well, after the small intestine absorbs the alcohol then enters the bloodstream and dissolves in the water of the blood. After it is absorbed, it is then pumped through the body by your heart, affecting nearly every organ in your body. As we learned from the previous slide, alcohol is consumed or absorbed in the bloodstream. Anyone who consumes alcohol has a level that represents the actual percentage of your blood that is concentrated with alcohol. This is called BAC, or blood alcohol concentration. For example, a BAC of 0.10 means that 0.1% of your bloodstream is composed of alcohol. Later on, I will show you an image of this BAC chart to give you a better understanding. Okay, so 0.08%. Why would I have an entire slide on this number? Well, legally in all states, you should not be operating a motor vehicle with a 0.08% blood alcohol concentration, or BAC level. In other words, whether or not you consider yourself to be drunk, the law considers you to be legally drunk or an offender if your BAC is above a 0.08%. Anything above this BAC level is considered to be drunk or intoxicated. This chart gives you a better image of BAC levels and what occurs as BAC levels continue to increase. It is clear from the chart that the higher the BAC level is, the more intoxicated or impaired you become. By intoxication or impairment, I mean the quantity of alcohol a person consumes that produces behavioral or physical abnormalities. So again, to reiterate, intoxication equals impairment, which equals being drunk or in an abnormal state of mind. This can ultimately lead to major consequences. Okay, so to truly understand how one can actually get to a stage of intoxication, it is important to understand what a drink is considered to be. Many people are surprised to learn what counts as a drink. The amount of liquid in your glass, can, or bottle does not necessarily match up to how much alcohol is actually in your drink. Different types of wine, beer, or malt liquor can have very different amounts of alcohol content. This is why it is important to know how much alcohol your drink contains. In the United States, one standard drink contains roughly 14 grams of pure alcohol, which is found in the example seen here. Here we see this guy go from bad to worse. It is clear and safe to say that the more drinks you have, the more intoxicated you become. Moving on to some of the short and long-term effects that occur with drinking alcohol. On the left-hand side, we see slurred speech, drowsiness, vomiting, diarrhea, upset stomach, headaches, breathing difficulties, and distorted vision and hearing. On the right-hand side, we see some of the longer-term effects. Here we have unintentional injuries, such as car crashes, falls, burns, and drowning. Intentional injuries, such as firearm injuries, sexual assault, domestic violence, increased family problems and broken relationships, alcohol poisoning, high blood pressure, stroke, and other heart-related diseases, liver damage, nerve damage, addiction and dependency, and permanent damage to the brain. I especially want you to pay close attention to addiction and dependency, as we will discuss more closely in the next slide. Because alcohol is legal and widely accepted in society, it can be hard to tell the difference between casual use and abuse. It may be that some of you currently know of somebody struggling with some type of abuse, whether it be alcohol related or something else. It is a very hard thing to deal with for everybody involved, which is why I am wanting you all to be familiar with it and understand what it is in order to be of support one day. To quickly define addiction, or more specifically, alcohol addiction. Addiction is marked by a craving for alcohol and the inability to stop drinking, even when it causes extreme personal or social harm. So how can we help? More specifically, how can we prevent the consumption of alcohol, or how can we minimize some of its dangerous, potentially fatal effects? In class on Thursday, we will examine some of these prevention methods and skills through a series of scenarios, as well as through a role play activity where you will be given a scenario by me and then asked to role play in your group. Okay, so a short quiz. This is just to see who actually saw the video and paid attention. Okay, so on a sheet of paper, answer the following questions. Number them 1, 2, and 3, and after you're done, put this quiz in your backpack, bring it to me on Thursday, turn it in to me, and I will give you a door prize for having completed it. Okay, well, thank you all for watching my video, and I will see you on Thursday.